and he was fired because he might have got hired because he's black. Yeah. He got fired because he might have got hired because he's black.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
If you ready, I'm ready. Let's talk.
And welcome to our living room, our talking space. We welcome you into Let's Talk. I'm Gregory, your host, and I have two special guests with me. I'm looking to my right at Miss Trina. Trina, introduce yourself, Trina.
I'm Trina McGee with the T.
And to my left.
That was good. That was it. I ain't got no tea to play with. It's your boy Marcello Thetford. I'm just here to talk. Real talk. Let's talk. Let's go. Make it happen. You know?
Real talk for real.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm going to toss it out. We're just going to have a free-for-all today. What do you want to talk about, brother?
Man, I mean, when you look at the world right now, I don't understand how companies and streaming channels make money with like Netflix and stuff like that, because the news takes the headlines. I've been watching Trump the series. Have you seen Trump the series? I mean,
Every day.
But Trump the series, man, it had an episode after every hour.
I can't open my YouTube without seeing that dude all over the page.
Man, it's crazy. You know, it's you know, we remember. It's so funny. And things happen for a reason. So 5 months ago, we had Kamala Trump between black people. Kamala Trump. That's over. Right. So now we know it's Trump. Right. So that's all the news. So now we know this whole Trump situation, and in less than 60 days, man, I'm still trying to figure out what he's trying to do for black people.
What do you think is the worst thing that Trump's done since he's gotten into office?
Got elected.
Got elected. But also, but whatever private still, no, we accept it. He's elected, you know. But what exactly are you doing for my people? What exactly? He got inaugurated. It happened on Martin Luther King Day. Okay? It was Black History Month, and it was Trump. You know what I'm saying? Black History was damn demolished.
No, it was demolished. He canceled Black History Month, and then he went on to have a party at the White House. I don't know if you saw that, but that was crazy. It was Tiger Woods and a whole bunch of other black Republicans.
Tiger Woods not black.
Yeah. Well,
do you think Tiger Woods better?
He tried to come back after he golf clubbed his wife's car. I don't know.
Well, he was right up in this little crowded room. It looked like this little kind of house party with Trump like on a stage, but it was a lot. But then he cancels Black History Month. He throws this party at the White House, you know, and then right the next day he gets rid of the Joint Chief of Staff who was black. Saying
right. You know, he did get rid. I think he only worked about a month. I can't get his name. I mean, so if anybody in the comments, please put his name in the comments.
I think it's CQ Brown.
Is it CQ Brown?
Yeah.
CQ Brown?
Okay.
CQ Brown.
I hope I'm right, yeah.
Okay. I didn't gamble. But CQ Brown, he was Joint Chief of Staff, and he was fired because he might have got hired because he's black.
Yeah.
He got fired because he might have got hired because he's black.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
The thing is prior to him getting that job, though, he had 40 years experience.
Right. This is whole life.
So it's, you know, we're not going to act like he got the lotto here.
Right.
Come on.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
He deserved the job. At that, he was there less than a month, and about a month, and he got fired.
Yeah.
You know, and then who's the guy? They have a guy to replace him, which I think is comic. What's the name of the guy to replace him, Trina?
Well, first of all, his nickname is Raisin Cane.
The guy that's replacing him?
Yes, yeah.
The guy that's replacing him is Raisin Cane.
Raisin Cane.
It ain't a damn.
Can his neck be any more red than that? Can his neck be any more red than that?
I'm telling you, I mean.
Raisin Cane. That's like saying, you know, it just makes you feel like we're ushering in some kind of omen. I mean, that's a biblical name. Raisin Cane.
Raisin Cane. I mean, whether you're a Bible buff or whatever, I mean, Cain and Abel, I mean, that's kind of crazy that the new joint is that name, Dan Raisin Cane. I think his name.
Yeah, I said Dan against Cain and Abel.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, it's
No.
it's like I said, it's all these subtleties. I don't know.
Subtleties. I don't
I don't know if it's real or not or what, but you can't make this stuff
Let
up.
me say something that's not really said right now.
Okay.
Okay. A lot of these things that are happening with Trump do align with a lot of African American philosophies about prophecy, about a time being ushered in, where we would have a year or years of return. I mean, so when you hear a name like Raisin Cane,
Right.
it kind of like,
Right,
see,
right.
maybe
I even want to be here anymore.
Right. It's stuff
Yeah,
going on right now. Right. No, it's pretty bizarre. It's bizarre times right now. But still, again, even with that, I mean, what has he done for black people? He fired the Joint Chiefs of Staff. I mean, what did he do for black people? He showed at the Super Bowl and watched Kendrick Lamar's performance, I think is what he did. I mean,
let me tell you, so what's really messed up?
Yeah.
This new guy that he's bringing in, if confirmed by the Senate, Kane would be the first individual in recent history to ascend to the position of chairman without previously holding the rank of a 4-star general or admiral. This nomination signifies a departure from traditional military promotion pathways and underscores the administrator's intent to appoint leaders aligned with his strategic vision. So
he got hired because he's fired.
A YouTube guy.
Yeah, he got hired because he's fired. He got hired
Because he's white. Trump liked him. Trump met
He got hired because he's white.
Trump met him years back in some situation he handled with ISIS.
Right.
And now Trump wants to hire him. And he knocks off a guy with a 40-year because he's black.
But he fired him because he's black.
Yeah.
He hired this guy because he's white.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But the racism is from Trump is, I think we need to fire him because I think I hired him because he's black.
Right.
40 years ago. She hired because he's black. I know black people. I know some people. There's black people. If you don't have somebody, yeah. No, great. Yeah. This one? Okay. Yeah. Crazy. Crazy at the end of the day.
But what you said is key. Underscores. He's trying to underscore everything, isn't he?
I know, but you know what? Maybe I'm saying too much, but white people are always doing these great jobs with kind of mediocrity behind them. There's major nepotism with what is Trump thinking about? This man has a 40-year career. I mean, I know what he's thinking about it, but please, why blame it on DEI? I mean, it's not.
He's blaming it because he's black. And he's
he's a DEI hire.
Right, he's being racist, because it's this reverse racism thing that he's doing. It's like even what he did with South Africa. Okay, out of nowhere, in less than 60 days, he moved South Africa.
Right.
Well, let's talk to South Africa. But so he's talking with South Africa.
They're doing bad things,
Yeah, they
really bad things.
Bad things. Bad
Can I tell you something I just learned about that? Okay. I don't know. You can check, please, fact check me about this. But the South African government is not taking away land from farmers who are like, they're just snatching away from people who are on their house. They're taking land that has been left there for years and years and has been left abandoned. And that's the land that they're taking back.
But that's not
like,
that's going on.
And they're also, I heard to some degree, they're actually paying white farmers to be there and to be on the land. They're getting funds from the government.
Right, the narrative is
this narrative of this boring it's like ridiculous.
Absolutely.
But isn't it getting twisted because of that man love between Elon and him?
Oh, absolutely.
The money
No doubt.
Money bag.
And that created a whole level of economic white supremacy at that level. When we looking at Trump and we're looking at Elon of what's happening there. I mean, Elon money is surpassed and almost close to double of that of Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's on track clearly to be the first trillionaire in our modern world. We're looking at a playbook of a person with money that has influenced the president of the United States, okay, who, by the way, is a businessman, and his patriotism only goes as far as his business.
Yeah.
Okay? So the two must align together. It's his America. It's not America. It's his America. And you have to understand there's a big difference in that at the end of the day. And that's what we're seeing. The dream of his America unfolding with that of an ally of someone who has unlimited funds, which is Elon Musk. We've seen steps happening really quickly in Elon's favor. They come out in less than 45 days and do executive orders against South Africa because you want to believe the Afrikaners are being cheated out of land and everything. When it just so happens that you got Elon Musk, who's an Afrikaner, you got Peter Thiel, who's an Afrikaner, and I believe there's another tech billionaire that's an Afrikaner as well. At the end of the day, so these people were nerds. These people were not liked in school. These people, I mean, look at Elon. You really think he was a ladies' guy in school? That he was getting girls and all this stuff. He wants to shut things down. He wants the world that he wanted to be when he was here. At the end of the day, he has issues with the government of South Africa. At the end of the day, he has Starlink. He had created Starlink. A lot of people don't look at the news. Go back. Go on Google. Go check. South Africa banned Starlink. South Africa at one time banned Starlink. It was banned. They were not allowed. He didn't want Starlink. We want to ride his own Teslas here? Banned at the end of the day. But definitely the Starlink. Now, just as a week ago, Starlink has got its approval in South Africa.
Really? I didn't know that. Okay.
I wonder why. I wonder why. I'm putting the pressure on South Africa. The USA. The USA. Old Uncle Sam. They're putting the pressure on South Africa and trying to mess with South Africa. Now you ask yourself, we've seen our partners come out and say, you know what, Trump? We don't want that offer. We've seen that publicized. We're not interested in that. At least the majority, that's what the narrative is now and everything. So we're looking at something like that. They don't. So what's the next step, Elon? Fund Afrikaners with weapons to go ahead and protect their lands. It's possible. He has the money to do it. We should consider this at the end of the day. We should make the Afrikaners could go into like a terrorist group of some sort.
Right.
We should start a civil war within South Africa. Which is why South Africa is a brick nation, isn't it? So it's a brick nation. It runs just like NATO, all for one for all. We could be sitting in the middle of a possible World War III over the fuckery of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to look at right now. We have to look at what's going on the world stage. Do you want war? But Elon pushed this man, and it wasn't just that. You see Trump. Sometimes when you see a fighter, and he's a fighter, okay, you learn a fighter's ways. When Mike Tyson was a boxer, Muhammad Ali, we knew the steps. We knew what to look for, the left foot, we had the mean jab. Trump has a playbook, and he plays the same playbook the same way every single time. We know his weaknesses. It's very much said. The personal weaknesses are there. We see that in his character, and we see those flaws at the end of the day. He pushes forward at the end of the day because you have to be the strongest mind in the room. You understand? And he always wants to be the strongest mind in the room at the end of the day. And the idea is to keep getting. This is somebody that's lost money, gained money, lost money again. Money is not an issue for him. He has the money around him at the end of the day. He has to be. The idea is to have complete dominant power at the end of the day. People have asked me a question. This is just a conspiracy thought. Don't know. But for anybody that's talking about making Greenland part of America, any man that's talking about being Canada the 51st state, this is what I hear from people, you can't do that, the Constitution. You can't. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to change the Constitution. That's what he's looking at doing. This has been in works for a while to try to break and change that Constitution. But it doesn't work unless with the American people screaming out for it. Obama tried to do it. Obama's whole campaign was change. It was change. And Obama's major, his study is constitutional law. He's a constitutional law attorney. That's what he is at the end of the day. So when he got inside office, he knew quickly what to change around and how to move things for LGBT rights and other things and such that were in his party's favor. And Trump is doing the same thing. It's just this time, he's not thinking about the next president at all.
Not at all. He wants to be dictator. He told us that.
Yes. And Xi Jinping, he said he idolizes him. He said he thinks the man is amazing. How he runs with
That's the other dude in North Korea, too.
Kim Jong-un. He has praised him before as well. And Putin, who, by the way, is
a dictator.
He was a dictator at the end of the day. So, what are your thoughts on this at the end of the day?
As a woman, I think the thing that really gets me is when I think about how Elon Musk kind of handles his family life, like it's some kind of eugenics test tube situation going on.
Really?
He just had another baby.
Well, I think he has 12 or 13 kids.
I don't know the exact number. I just know he had another baby on September 24th.
He just had a baby by the influencer Ashley St. Clair.
Yes, yes.
And well, not just had a baby, but she's suing for custody of the child. Because she says he's only seen the child, you know, a couple of times, maybe 3 times.
I think he's 40. So.
Yeah. And so I don't know. He has all these kids. It doesn't seem like he ever sees them. And I believe this, I get the sense that it says this attitude like I have to procreate, you know, because I know a lot of white people are concerned that the race of white people are going down, you know, and if you are, that really is a sign of a white supremacist, you know, just as much as I'm going to say it's a sign maybe of a black supremacist to go out and say, hey, I got to make a whole bunch of kids, you know. I don't really mind that he wants to make a whole bunch of kids, and I may not agree with how he's raising them. It's just the feeling behind it. Are you really so in love with the white race? Or are you just like, I better make these kids before the black people take over? Like, come on, like, what's the spirit of that? And I just don't think anybody like that should have any control of the earth at all.
Well, the number says he has 10 children. 10 children, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, so I don't know if this cop, the one you just mentioned that he had.
I don't know. I have an article headline right here. You're talking about Ashley St. Clair.
Yeah.
This comes from the headline from People magazine.
Ooh.
Ashley St. Clair says Elon Musk messaged her that they have a legion of kids to make months after reported son's birth.
Yeah, legion.
Wow.
Okay, so that's a really important word, the word legion, okay?
He's saying he wants to have children. He wants to have a lot more.
So he wants to have a legion of them.
Yes.
Like, legion is like the devil.
Yeah. I was like, society actually is. The word legion is.
Yes, that's when they
in the Bible.
into the pigs.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, that's it, into the pigs.
Yeah. Jesus asked him, what's your name? And he said, we are legion.
He said, we are legion, for we are of many.
Many
spirits.
See, you could have used so many words.
No. You said what you said. Yeah, but matter of fact, I do a group where my friend Kumkani, and we do a group called Breaking Battle on Saturdays.
I love
where
that.
we share. Thank you. Where we share different things, and we try to be up for melanated people what's going on and what's happening in sign of times. And I actually sent that to my group early this morning. And I wanted to share that with them. He said we have a legion of kids to make. This is conscious breeding on his end.
Yeah, that's
Understand that. With the richest man in the world, that clearly wants to make a world that looks like him, or a world that he sees what a world should look like in the future.
Right.
And that's kind of scary.
It's very scary.
At the end of the day. I mean, he has one child he doesn't even talk to.
Yeah.
She's a transgender. I
know that messed his head up.
Yeah.
And he doesn't talk to that child at all. Understand the first week of office.
Yeah.
We shut down transgender. In sports, we shut it down immediately.
But is he
everything has been working in his favor.
Yeah.
And having all those children. I mean, Trump just cut the 50-50 rule.
Yeah.
For marriages.
Doesn't Donnie owe him, because he gave him a lot of money for that campaign?
Right. There you go.
So he owes him. He's
so
better.
anybody that needs another one of the Italian word is definitely
he must have been
richest man in the world with, how do you say, 10 kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
Something,
So we could just give those women $100K and never see them again.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere. I think it's about $100K is the max, something to that effect.
Yeah.
I feel wrong in the comments. Please put down what's going on as far as the 50-50 thing in marriage in America right now. But I believe it's 100,000 is the max, and you have to know where that money. You have to prove where that money is going to go.
So that's what, a quarter to him? 25 cents?
It's 100,000. Honestly, that's a quarter to the majority of white men in America. Think about it. It's the majority of the white men in America can do 100,000. Easy.
Like that.
Yeah, just like that. Hey, guess what? Maybe it's not even cash. Why don't you just take out a loan for your child support or your thing? And you go to the bank. A lot of brothers ain't gonna get a loan for that. You get a loan. You can take out a personal loan at 100,000. And pay notice. There's ways to do it. But unfortunately, again, it works out for the rich.
Yeah.
It doesn't work out for the and honestly, when you really think of that program, that's someone that is really not connected to children. No, if you killing the 50-50, I'm saying this as a man, if you're killing the 50-50 rule in that sense for women, it's unfortunate because at the end of the day, that person is put into that child as well. But more the fact that you're saying that I have the right to have a sense of righteousness, a point of righteousness, without having any other obligation to this person by that of the state or by the federal government.
Yeah, he's got plans.
And so that was attention that for some people is a bonus. That's worth more than 100,000.
Yeah.
And then they people just want to they detach. So yeah, it's something that definitely works in his life more than anything else.
Well, I see it as a systematic devaluation of female. Systematically, your value is making babies for me. I'll give you this money. Move on with your life.
Right.
How much money we talking? No.
I keep brought up a new question. What about black women? This is, they're talking about the quintessential white one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah. So a black woman got her in 1999
Yes, that's right.
and a bucket of fries. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Look at the chicken.
Yeah, a bucket of chicken. What are you talking here at the end of the day? Because anything for them was valued 10 times lower for us at the end of the day. And honestly, what would that do to our children? What would that do for certain men that raise up in the world like that? I could just go ahead and have babies and it will cost me for black baby maybe 50 grand or something like 30 grand, 20 grand. I don't know. But it's we live in a world of inflation, and I don't see how that's going to sustain.
I
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. But we see a lot of changes happening in this Trump administration. Right? We saw he released the Proud Boy. Leaving the Proud Boy.
Yeah, he got arrested again.
Yeah, I saw that. He got arrested again. I mean, he got to help this guy. I mean, times he helped this man. I don't know. It's like, so we see that, and we're gonna say, he Trump's for black people. Trump, he's not black Trump. He don't do something. And we are so forgiving as a people.
Yeah.
So forgiving as a people. And we don't see, we read the writing on the wall.
No, I remember when Paula Dean, remember Paula Dean? Yeah, remember when she got exposed for saying nigger? The N-word. So many black people were just like, oh, don't worry about Paula. She's from the South.
She just I think it's some black in Paula Dean. I think it's Paula Jackson. That's crazy.
What's wrong with us?
I don't know. We do these things.
Because we're nice. There's a group of people in the world that are constantly figuring out how to take over the world, where it's never enough. It's always got to conquer. I got to take this. I got to take Canada. I got to take South America. I got to take because
Greenland. Don't forget Greenland.
I don't hear of anybody black doing that ever in time.
Because we don't have that.
Tell me history where that's happened.
Because these people have
even when we had like Mansa Musa or centuries and centuries ago, it was never about. Well, I don't know.
Okay, so I see what you're saying. What I'm trying to say, we don't carry the spirit of raping and pillaging, right? As such,
I don't know what they do.
Conquering, okay, it was a very, very. That's where we're really going.
History, people.
Conquer. You know what I'm saying? The passive aggressive term of conquer is discovered. Remember that. Okay, but when they discovered shit, motherfuckers die.
But not wipe out.
Never fuck with white people and discover shit because you get fucked up. You don't want that in your life. You don't want that in your life because that's what they do at the end of the day. But between discovering and between that of them raping and pillaging and tearing things down and calling it a sense of conquering, we don't conquer that way.
Yeah. And they call us savages. What was that behavior? I mean, come on.
It's just a way of changing the narrative, of changing the tide today. Yeah, remember, America's built on blood.
Absolutely.
Our blood. It's our blood. It's a gory story. You gotta read the story of how America was built. That's a gory fucking story. Who wants to hear that story? And you can talk about we're proud. We're home of the brave. Brave. You were curing people that was coming to be being kind to you. You read Columbus' memoirs. When Columbus in his book of memoirs, he says clearly these people are nice. They're very kind. You understand? They give us stuff. When we're hungry, they feed us.
Wow.
Show us ways to do things. Pause. Next paragraph. I think we could take them over in less than 3 months.
For the king, for the crown.
For the
I'm sorry.
crown.
Yeah.
How do you say that in the same pen? What do you do? He never said, he confessed that these people have done nothing to them.
Yeah. I think what's scary for Black people too sometimes is that the descendants of these people are just walking around among us, and it's so covered, and you can't escape that. It does.
And so you give up. So you somewhat socially give up. You just accept it. You live and you die. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not mad at my people that do that. Like, you know what? I hear all this. I hear all that. But I'm going to go take my take off. I manage human resources downtown. And I'm going to go do my job in the next 40 years. Get my little plane. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do anything. I get it. I understand. But understand there is a point of accountability that you should rise up to, that you are needed. We are not born here for ourselves, but we're born here as a people. We're only strong as united. We are fucked up separate. That's just our gift and our curse.
So we're only as strong as our weakest link.
Absolutely.
And something you just said just popped in my head. It sounds like something we had discussed in our previous show. It's when we do that, when we go to the job every day and you're not going to make a fuss or whatever, are we accepting our place that they want us to be in?
Right. That's true. Well, are we accepting the place? No, we're not accepting it. Because they don't really want to tell us what they really want to ask to be. They even say, let me really go. We'll be back on the farm if they have it their way. And honestly, I think they are trying to do that in some degrees. In a new tech kind of way.
Yeah.
With technology, with AI or whatever.
I think they really convinced people in the later half of the 20th century to really love a career.
Yeah.
Love your job. What are you going to do with your life?
Right.
And it's kind of silly. It's like there was a time before Rockefeller that everyone just was an entrepreneur. Everyone had farms. Everybody was their own businessman.
Right. But it changed their way of thinking.
Yeah.
I remember growing up, as a kid, and I hear older people say, man, I got to move closer to my job. I live too far. I got to move closer to my job. So I got to pay this bus fare, whatever. I'm closer to my job. A job is supposed to accommodate you. You're not supposed to accommodate a job. I think the CEO and the owners will remember the fact that Jerome moved from 7 miles down the street closer to the factory so he could be there at 6 in the morning. Hell no, we ain't gonna remember that. No, the mentality is off. What do rich people do when their money get bigger? They move away from their job.
Don't they?
They move to Colorado. They move to the Austins in Colorado. They move to the Poconos. They move to the Hamptons. They move to the St. Barts or whatever. It's reverse at the end of the day.
Of the mentality.
I went to school with like rich New York City kids, and those kids, they had a city house, on Park Avenue, and then they would have a country home.
Wow.
In the country. And, so the people who really had money, they always, and even in Hollywood, the executives in Hollywood take a vacation every second. They could never get somebody, I'm off here. They go away from work.
You talk about, you go home and just talk about, she lays in the bed with the shore. It's so nice. We do that for 3 weeks and we beat all the kids.
Yeah.
What are you going to do now?
Yeah.
That's it. We tell black fellas they can't do it. But it's not many that can.
I think it's sad that there's the idea of a vacation in general. Just the idea that you have to take a vacation,
A vacation.
Yeah. You should.
And you have to go back to it.
Yeah.
And you're doing this all on the ideology of fiat. You're doing this all on the ideology of fiat.
Money, yeah.
Money. You're doing this on fiat. You're doing this on the idea of this currency is worth value. And when I do this, exert this energy through this 2 weeks, I will then receive something that will signify and validate the time that I worked, and it's given in called dead president's money or whatever, and it's given digitally or whatever into an account that someone else handles for you.
Someone else,
like you,
and they use your money to make money.
And they use your money to make money in your sleep, which is a whole nother conversation. Use money to make money in your sleep and everything, and then go ahead and keep telling you to keep going. Most of us only see our money digitally. We just see numbers on our phone. We never actually tell. It was a time though. We would actually touch money.
Oh yeah.
It was a time. I remember my father.
I still know.
You got some money in your pocket. You need some money in your pocket. You ain't got no money in your pocket. You ain't no top of million. No money in your pocket. Money in your pocket. Money in your pocket. That's so many times, man. I don't know what I was like, I ain't gonna give a damn. I want to focus after me. If I had been like that, I was like, I ain't trying to be that man. So, but I'm old, I learned. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have this link. But all based on our ideology of this concept. You hear brothers talking, and I'll just speak on my black men real quick. Yo, man, I gotta make some money, man. I get paid every song.
Right.
Every hip hop song.
Talking about
every
getting paid.
song. You know what I mean? Make them
Give them a
It's Friday night.
It's Friday night. That's everything about money. So everything about money, you have to understand. That's the token of witchcraft that we are dealing with in so many ways. Because we are not inherent. The reason why brothers and sisters, brothers don't make money, you can say lazy, you can say whatever you want. It's not in our makeup. And this one's had a
Well, we're black people barter.
We barter. We trade. We exchange frequency. That's what we do. We don't leave you with something that's dead, that's not worth anything. I don't give you a dead. I change my mangoes for your bananas. You don't give me a dead banana.
Right.
You give me half dead bananas, but you want me to believe those bananas are better than the real bananas. Those dead bananas are better than the real bananas. Matter of fact, you take those dead bananas, we're gonna get 3-4 houses. That's what money is. That's the concept of money. It's an ideology that we all have to believe the same thing and go.
It only works because we all believe it.
Absolutely.
Very true. I remember when I gave up on the career mentality. And it wasn't voluntary. It was a job. I worked from 8 to 4:30. Easily in that office at 7 a.m. Easily leaving at 7 p.m. at night. Love the job, love the work, love the title, love the influence, all of that. And then one Friday, they knock on my door. Executive director wants to see you. Go in, I see 5 people in there. Okay, what's going on? We've been bought. And by the way, the company that purchased us, they have 17 managers and directors positions that match ours. And one of those positions is yours.
Right.
Thank you.
And you're done.
Done.
And you're done.
Just done.
And you're done.
And I'm giving myself to this organization like that. That was the day I gave up on careers. I started living my life entrepreneurially speaking.
Interesting. You see, and it's so funny because most brothers actually excel more entrepreneuring than they excel in careers and jobs.
Well, yeah, because you don't necessarily have to show yourself as an entrepreneur. You can.
Well, not just you don't depending on what you're doing and trade. You have to show yourself. It's more of the fact of you need all of your parts in order to survive. If you socially arrest me, and I have to go to work for the next 20 years a certain way, there'll be a part of me that's missing for the rest of my life.
And it'll die.
Or I might not even see it evolve. Might not even be able to see that evolve. So I'm socially arrested to go ahead and live my life, my job close to your job, so I get there on time. Make sure I wash my clothes so I look presentable. You don't pay for it. You know what I'm saying? You don't pay for my clothes so I can look good at your company. Doesn't matter my company was. I just come as a slob and with pizza on my shirt and some stains because it's your company. But it doesn't work that way, does it? And then you always have camaraderie, job camaraderie. We did it. Just like people, and I don't like any guys out there, women out there that are sports fans. But it's kind of the same thing like this. You say, our team won.
Our team. What position you play?
You don't own that team. Right. You wasn't in the skybox.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you was the dude that worked the mediocre job, and you was the guy, and I'm going to use a team for a minute. You wore the New York Yankees hat, you wore the New York jersey, you wore the New York shoes, you wore the basketball, you were everything you were better than the player. And you don't even own the part of the team. But you talking about, you leaving the stadium talking about, we won.
We won.
And that's enough for you at the end of the day to go to work and keep going. And I understand that. This happens to America all day, all around the world. But but there's a hidden, if we're coming out of entertainment, I'm just letting you know, and being a digital asset expert of trend setting and creating trends, that's what I do. It's it can look like magic. It can look like it just came out of nowhere. But you were set up this way from birth. You were set up this way. You know, before I was right, Trina. Before the early 1900s is when school started, the part of education.
That's right. Yeah, towards the end of the 1800s, that's when school started. Of course, in America, most of us know by now that Rockefeller started the school system.
Right.
And that's why we don't know how to manage money or do a lot of the things that would be more practical in life. It was just made up to
create workers. It was just to create workers.
Yeah.
Just to create workers.
So,
all because of child labor kids were actually dying too early, and I mean, he wasn't getting the most labor out of those kids.
yeah.
So let me go ahead and let their bones get stronger. Everything else in school and everything.
Yeah.
Let them spend this time and everything. Let the parents go ahead and keep them from me, so I ain't got to pay for these kids and everything.
Yeah.
And by the time their bones get a bit stronger, we're around 14, 15, we're getting work pay, and we'll get them back in the field again and everything. But this time, we got their minds. It wasn't a great system before of just running a child down to 10, 12 years old or 14 years old, and he had life expectancy of 15. It didn't work. It didn't work for a while in the mines. So they had to rebuild it.
What that tells me is we don't do enough thinking for ourselves outside of the box.
Well,
We like to fit inside of the system, a system that was created.
I mean, I'll tell you why. But I think you're right. And you can tell me if I'm wrong, Trina. The reason why I feel like we fit, it's like because we were designed to belong to something. We were designed that way as a people. We were designed to belong to a belief, to a culture, or something that we adhere to. Just that we're not in our land, we're not in our seasons. Even though we're not even living their menstrual cycles in the right seasons. Children are not even being born in the right seasons. In South Africa right now it is it's summer. In the States right now it's winter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you throw that clock off, that we talk about women, the biological clock, there's a real going on biological clock. You don't realize it. You need something to hear a birth on that side right now. You still get over here. You know what I'm saying? Men are not as strong as being on that side as they on the other side. Most teams win on the other opponent's court, on their home court. Remember the home advantage?
Right.
Where is the home court advantage for our Black people?
Good question.
Where is the home court advantage for our Black people?
Good question.
So that's what we have to question.
we got to find home.
Well, we know it. Well, for those that choose to accept and choose that accountability after it's home and they've never experienced the experience, and maybe they have questions, the slave trade didn't happen. We hear, these things. That my thing is, you got to be from somewhere. You're not from Mars. At the end of the day, you need to go ahead and see where your strongest power is, where your power source is, before you determine. You lived in America all your life. Find your power source. And there is a thing about being electrically charged to the ground. It's scientific. At the end of the day. Yeah. It's scientific at the end of the day.
Excuse me.
So I just think more people need to look beyond what they see and understand that there's another thing at play. There's another evil monster at play that they are totally missing. And I've seen it for years of we want to be part of something, even if it's bad. Even if it's stupid.
That's how gang culture, I believe, has thrived so much.
Gang culture is just
They want to belong.
They want to love. Even the niggas that don't kill people. I hate to say it, I know it sounds crazy. They really just want to be loved.
Yeah. Now they're in the kill people club.
I had a young man in LA once. Little youth group I was working with. So I don't know why I did this. I just asked them all to step outside the room, and I asked them to come in one at a time. I just sat and talked with them. Actually, I believe I was just trying to get to know them on a one-on-one basis rather than a group context. And this young man came in, and I'm going to tell you something. He was driving a BMW because I saw him when he came. Right. I'm 21 years old, right? And he's driving a BMW. I'm not driving a BMW. He's in high school.
Oh,
right? So when he sits down in front of me, the first thing I notice is the scars on his face. He had about 3 or 4 serious scars, length and everything. All right. So we talk. And then I finally said to him, I said, you know what? Tell me one thing, 2 things that you would like to change about your life. And the whole persona, he changed right in front of me because at first he was sitting there bebopping, talking to me like this, right? And the one part that like really shocked me was he pulled out a wad of money like this, you know. And he's telling me about the women and everything. But then when I asked him that question, he just humbled me. He said, I would want my family to take me back, and I want to leave these drugs alone.
Oh.
Yeah. Blew my mind.
I believe it. I've heard confessions like that. Where's the glamour in? I mean, yeah, you got to treat your comforts, but those that are doing it know the truth. You see, I believe in all of us as a melanated people. There's light in us. We know the accountability spirit is in us. We just spend our lives just turning away from it. You know, we know better. We know better. And the reason why we know better is because we see other people that they're really about that life. They're really about that evil. They're faithful to evil. They're faithful. There's some people that are just straight faithful. They're diligent. And you have to somewhat inadvertently admire that. Because if we stay focused on our culture and we stay focused on our directive and we know who we are, and we take time to know who we are and understand, just like batteries, you cannot function unless another battery is connected. We are an electrical current of righteousness that shines through each other. All of us.
I love what you're saying. I love what you're saying because, you know, we talked about that system. And we fall in line with that system. I did it. You know, I followed it.
Oh, absolutely. I was in it. Top general. I was joint staff.
You had 4 stars? 4 stars.
4 stars.
So we get caught up in that.
Yeah.
Some may call it the Matrix. Yeah. Right? We get caught up in that. And it moves us away from something you said earlier. We chase this and we're about this career. And then that other part of us is not being realized or given the opportunity to live. That's that part I call creative genius. I think that's in all of us. You know, the creator created.
Yes.
And we're made in his image and after his likeness. So that means we are creative.
Oh,
that's right.
And that's the part of us that you're talking about now that I believe needs to be awakened.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Because we've been given a narrative of monkey, you know, less than, lazy, all those things that have been said about us over the years and over the decades and over the ages. And now we've lost our identity. And I agree with you. The number one thing we need to do as melanin people is find ourselves, rediscover ourselves, and excel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's the future of our kind. Is the future of eternal beings.
Well, I also think one of the main things we need to do is just start to be kind to each other and start to learn to work together. You know, that's the real key component to us excelling. We have to turn to each other. We have to unify. It just starts with the simplest things. And I think another thing that's really confusing about this time is just like we're sitting here, there's so many discussions, there's so many conversations. And I know, especially like I'm going to get kicked in the head for this, but especially like with the millennial generation. I find them to talk a lot, have a lot of discussions, but maybe not do stuff. You know, our generation is more like, hey, we talked about it enough. What are we going to do, y'all?
Right.
You know, and that's, you know, this perpetual looking at things, analyzing things, talking about things can often stop things from actually really happening. You know, it takes us out of a state of actually going out the door and tackling it in everyday life, you know.
No, I totally agree with what she's saying on that. I agree. And what I would say to that is, millennial generation, we talked about this, Trina, and I'll share with you, Greg. They are no leaders. There's no leaders. We come from a generation of leaders.
Yeah.
That we can look to. The new leader
is an influencer.
Exactly. Facts. The new leader is an influencer, which basically almost sounds like the word drug dealer or personality pusher. Or, you know, it's worse actually, because at least drug dealer, which is dark and morbid to say, at least you came asking for the drugs and you bought it. In this case, I can just turn on the phone or the TV and you just influence. I didn't even ask for it.
Yeah.
You're just agenda-based, and I'm supposed to look at it as entertainment. It's agenda-based entertainment now. Is what we have going on.
Yeah.
And when I look at the situation, I mean, when we were younger, and I remember the Stokely Carmichael. I remember the Ralph Abernathy's. I remember the Honorable Barakas. I remember the Langston Hughes. I remember the Marcus Garveys. You understand? I remember these people like Alan Clayton Powell. I remember
stood on business.
Yeah, people stood on business.
Yeah.
There was some sense of business. One of the things with CIA, PSYOP, ops, or whatever, it doesn't even matter. The bottom line is there was a time when we were in a place where, I'm sorry, we were more in tune of our freedom. We were more in tune of the baseline of equality and what equality took, because we all were on the same frequency. That frequency changed greatly. I think to say, first with the time of integration. Integration was not the best thing for us. And the reason why integration was not the best thing for us, in my opinion, is because we wasn't prepared for it. It's almost like taking a person, we see it all the time. Someone is jail institutionalized in jail since he was 16.
Yeah.
He's released at 45 years old. And he's talking to his probation all the time. He's like, all right, now, you be good. You go to that job and you go home and you come back. Like, no, you don't know that. You do the same thing in jail. Same people getting shanked. Same cops, CEOs tying them down to the bunks, getting his food a certain way. When they're supposed to shut down solitary confinement, he has no sense of what. You don't know what's been going on in this world for 40 years. He doesn't know, Greg.
He doesn't know.
So now, we go from sit-ins, marches, and all this type of stuff. Yeah, post-slavery and everything, and we got into a certain point, and then you want to bring in integration. We don't really know what that's like.
Yeah.
We really don't even know what that's supposed to look like on the outcome. What's a bad plan? But again, it wasn't our plan, because it had to be the white man's plan, because he wouldn't allow integration. We didn't push integration to the point where he just had to do it. Never get that twisted. At the end of the day, he just found a way that it worked better for him.
Always. Everything.
To the food you eat in America. Some of that food we can't even digest in the States. But we eat it. We eat it.
You don't have a choice. We just
every time, because it's a food desert out there in the hood. There's food deserts out there.
Yeah.
I tell people, I come from, I was taught by the greats of marketing. I'm a guru of marketing. I know how to do digital. I know digital content. I'm a strategist.
Okay.
At the end of the day. And what I do, I produce movies, I've directed movies, I've starred on shows, I've starred as an actor, I've done stuff. I set trends that you don't see coming. We do things like dark marketing in the world. A lot of people don't know about dark marketing. What is dark marketing? I'll give you an example. Do you remember, Popeye's chicken, right?
Yes.
In the States, right? Okay, they first came out with fried chicken burger, fried chicken sandwich. They came out a crunchy fried chicken sandwich maybe about 3-4 years ago. They had black people fighting in Popeyes.
Yeah, that was more than 3 or 4 years ago.
They had black people by point, though.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, they had black people fighting in Popeyes when they were running out of chicken sandwiches. Okay?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
Remember the Patty LaBelle pies? Everybody
Yeah.
That's dark marketing. We just make things look like they're in scarcity.
Yeah.
They're not in scarcity. We got chicken sandwiches. We got truckloads of chicken sandwiches ready to sell to you. You understand? We got truckloads of patty pies. And all this. It's a scarcity tactic, and people fight in, and it makes good business. Like you see fights happen. Why everybody fights at McDonald's? You ever wonder why black people fight at Walmart? Do you guys ever wonder why everybody's fighting black people in the middle of the aisle 6 by pasta and cereals at Walmart? Every time you look at a TikTok or a YouTube video of fights,
To make you want to go to Walmart.
make you go to Walmart. It sounds crazy. It's dark marketing.
In a low vibrational way.
We know those are frequencies that we hit.
So it affects the white people at the iStore when the new iPhone comes out.
Absolutely.
They're out there fighting.
You think
Sleeping there 3 days.
okay. It's all a gimmick. We just set it up that way.
I remember in junior college, I was taking a marketing class, and the professor he used us. He had a campaign coming out, and he gave it to us. And we created, each group had to create how they would sell this, right?
Right.
So he said, this is great. I'm going to use this because I have this campaign. He told us what it was. Then he said, you have to understand the basic understanding or philosophy of marketing is you may not need our product, but it's our job to convince you that you do.
Absolutely.
And I realized then, oh my God, I'm being manipulated every day.
You ever heard the story of De Beers with diamonds?
Mm-hmm.
Diamonds are worthless. Diamonds are worth nothing until they did a huge campaign to make it into an engagement ring.
Mm.
The concept of an engagement ring is a modern concept. It's not necessary to be married, but it's a modern ceremonial process that you needed this diamond ring. This diamonds are priceless.
And they are forever.
And they actually came up, it was De Beers that came up with that.
Really?
Diamonds are forever. So these are certain ways we set things up that keeps you spending your money. That we put billions of dollars behind campaigns to
like
make
all
you
these holidays, Valentine's,
we do this in holidays all the time.
Easter.
You come out of Christmas, you broke, right?
Yeah.
The kids, and then you got other holidays coming. All these holidays are just to suck your money dry, to take wealth out of you. It's pressure. It's to take wealth out of you while you celebrate the Easter Bunny or you go into your Christmas thing, whatever you do. It's what you do. I don't knock it, but I know why I leave it at the end of the day. It keeps the status quo. It keeps everybody's money. We suck out the money so it levels everything out in America again. It levels everything out. That goes with the rich and the poor. Because we can't keep the rich if we don't suck from the poor.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But we can take some from the rich, but we still don't stay rich. You see what I mean?
Right.
That's why I really like, as much as I admire these boycotts that everyone is doing, is it really going to take Target down like in a final way? I mean, sure, they'll have some sales go down, and it might even be,
You say black people.
I don't know if black
right
people
now
can really take a whole company down. Even I know we spend a lot in the whole thing, but these are companies that are pretty huge and are have to be backed by some kind of government money. I mean, I can't imagine Target is just going to stop to cease because of a boycott. I have very mixed feelings about boycotts because I like the initiative, but when you think about a boycott now in 2025, there are a lot of people at I'll just say a Target that might be black. Let's say the company goes go down. Those people are losing jobs. There are people who want to put their black products into a Target. Tabitha Brown. There was another little girl who had some dolls that she was making, and she was like, "Please don't, boycott Target." Look, I don't want Target or any of these companies to succeed, but when you look at the list, a friend of mine posted in Facebook the actual list of all these companies. It's so many. It's so many. And all I could say was like, well, I'm glad I'm not in America because I'll never make a mistake.
Right. Exactly. So you basically saying is if you gotta block out that many businesses, and
maybe you shouldn't be there.
Maybe you shouldn't be there because it stops all your daily functions. And really, you're not.
Who wants to think like that? Like, why are we even here? Like at this, but
we need to be consumers. We definitely need to be consumers of America. That's what we designed for. When a child is born, male or female, any race, there's a number on that child. At the end of the day, what that's worth to the government. At the end of the day, they know at the end of the day based on age. They know based on region. They know at the end of the day the life expectancy of somewhat of that person. They track it. We go through this all the time in Hollywood. We're tracking you. At the end of the day, we're tracking our audiences, so that we keep you right where we need you. So that's why they say when they run into Trina, the first thing they say to her is that we grew up with you. Isn't that a comment? That's what fans say, right? They say that to me. We grew up with you.
Yeah.
You did. That's right. Because it was the people powers that be that are behind me made sure I was in your living room every day.
That brings us back to that influence.
Yeah.
I'll never forget walking up to, and I know it was, picture windows in the East Coast. You see all through the house, right? A lot of people like those picture windows, right? And I walked up. I was going to ring the doorbell, and there was Michael Jordan in drawers.
Wow.
Hanes underwear on their tables. And I said, oh my God, America's changing.
Right.
In that sense, because this black man's in their living room like that.
Right, exactly.
In his undies. In their Hanes underwear.
And we've come a long way from what we would show on TV to what we show now. I mean, we didn't say 4-letter words or curse words back back in primetime television days, back in the 90s, or I mean, to say any kind of word, it was maybe damn. Worst word you can hear. You know,
And we went hell the next day.
yeah, all day. You know, now, like I said, anybody, a 5-year-old can sit next to me and watch TV. My son can watch TV, and he's gonna get the same smoke that I'm gonna get. He's gonna get the gender-based violence. He's gonna get the gender-based violence. He's gonna get the LGBTQ when he watches TV. He's gonna get everything. More stuff that I want him to know.
Yeah,
you know,
it's highly addictive too. Like,
It
is. You know what I'm addicted to now that I feel so guilty about?
I already know.
I'm addicted to Chris Brown music now, but
Really?
Yes.
the late Chris, like Chris Brown 2024, 2025. I'm like, you know what you think? You know, but like that's even before like these new songs out. Like I can't. I'm thinking there's something in the music.
Right.
But let me tell you, as I started listening to these lyrics, because I come from Boys to Men, Magician, literally, and I'm listening to this. I'm like, this is R&B porn. Like he's really saying, dick, pussy, just get that pussy. All that shit.
Because I didn't even count it. Now, and I never told about it, Chris Brown. Because she's like, what? Yeah, this is Chris Brown. This is like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And I was like, listen to no young kid tell me how to be with girls.
Right.
Listen, young black. This kid tell me about love. And but I was here since then. He's actually matured a lot.
You like, what's wrong? You show me a few things.
You show me a couple things.
Long time since this Christmas. Right.
So Trina was watching YouTube. So you got the colors, right? You got the yellows, the blues, the whites, the black. Everything went fast. It's fun. He's on Ferris wheel.
Yeah, that was fun.
And he's in a carnival and he's playing, he's popping animals, doing carnival games, and kids running around, But the lyrics, the lyrics were straight flow.
Bring that pussy with.
Yeah. It was straight flow.
Like if I was a kid, if I was a kid, it's kind of like the Katy Perry effect, because she was the first person who really did that, who would put candy canes and lollipops behind her and be like talking about, her vagina with these, and this is what I saw with the Chris Brown video. I'm sorry. It was like, really alluring for kids, but that's all of the music today. Like just, why do you put these bright colors and these animated things, and then they're like,
it's about you got
very scary.
A child is a cash cow. Okay, a child is a cash cow. We learned that, Hollywood really learned that in the early days with Pixar. When we did Pixar. When we did I was in it when DreamWorks was a Toy Story. It was huge better hit. And what we learned from animation when we started with Pixar got serious about what they were doing with animation. What we learned was that the kid is emotionally tied, which you kind of knew already. But we didn't know at what rate the parents would buy tickets. We found parents, because the parents are the ones that have the money, and they buy it for the kids. And then we found that they were buying the kids when to take their friends, and they wanted to go. And then started going to go. So it started having a bigger cultural effect. You know what I'm saying? The culture of children is just big money, because no child buys anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's really the parents that buy it. And the child will follow suit and buy as well as he gets older and has his own money, because he saw his mommy and daddy buying the Spider-Man for him. So now he's buying the Spider-Man for himself.
Yeah.
We see that in Marvel, X-Men, DC movies now. In the Marvel universe, because these kids like, oh man, I used to play the video game with Spider-Man, or I used to do this with Spider-Man. I used to watch Spider-Man. So guess what? Nigga, you're going to start using your own hard-earned work money, and you're going to buy yourself a Spider-Man costume, and you're going to go to the Spider-Man movie, and you're going to buy a Spider-Man movie ticket. And guess what? When you decide to have children, I don't care if it's a boy or girl, you will now buy that child for Halloween its Spider-Man costume. And you see how that keeps...
Yeah.
You see
and the process desensitizes people. Cartoons have always ever since Bugs Bunny to Scooby-Doo... to whatever they got going now, and they have used that to really desensitize.
Because you soften the truth. You're trying to soften the truth. We tell the truth through kids' movies. We show you stuff. At the end of the day, it's just that you just don't want to accept it. You just don't want to believe it. At the end of the day, and we do laugh at that to some degree, and then we double down and we do something else. And you guys accept that too? You know, and we watch it over and over to the point, we get to the point, we make remakes. Stuff that we know don't even make sense, but then we leak it out like, oh, I can't believe they're making a remake of this. I can't wait to see it.
Is that why there were so many Shreks?
Basically, more or less. Basically, more or less.
So they keep pushing the boundary. Is that what you're saying?
All day. The idea is to keep pushing the boundary. So we're headed towards anarchy. We actually almost are just about there. It's just that you just don't see the actual slashing and killing and shit. But it only takes a second. See, people think that's not go ongoing if the world comes to an end, everybody comes in the streets, everybody goes crazy. No, that'll last about 48 hours and it'll be half the population dead. You understand? The weak ones will be down and the last ones will be standing and they'll be hiding out and protect themselves and take the food from the weak ones at the end of the day.
We're going to see a civil war after the end of Trump's 4 years.
You might see it before. You could possibly see it before, but either way, I can say you're guaranteed to see something because he's part of a seed. He's part of a long line.
Yeah.
This has been in the process for a long time. If he ain't the one, it'll be somebody else. You know, and that person will just double down. I mean, listen, as a man, white or black, you have an ego. And you're talking about a man that in his meeting, he fought adversity, I guess, thought he was president, was he president, votes was all, now he became president again. He's president. So at the end of the day, he knows where the bodies lay. He knows all the skeletons. He knows all the offices. And he knows how to clean house the way he wants it. You know what I'm saying? The way he wants it. And he thinks that's being a very, very, very smart man. But I'm all for the fall at the end of the day. I'm for the fall because I think it's prophetic. And that's a whole nother story. So I think the fall must happen at the end of the day for what's happening in America. There's a lot of blood and a lot of stuff has been done to our people. And we will come out of this glorious. We will come out of this amazingly unscathed, as we came out of everything. That we come out, even slavery, apartheid, we've come out of it. From the transatlantic slave trade all the way to the Islamic slave trade, all the way to that of what has happened in apartheid here. What's happening right now in Somalia, we will get out of it. We will get out.
I think that's what makes them or gives them the greatest fear. Yeah, they've done everything to eliminate us, so we're here. We're still here.
Yeah, we're still here. And we're not. I mean, and it shows that the tail of the tape, the scoreboard says we're not going anywhere. You know, we're not. There's no J. They need us at the end of the day. And they don't want us, but they know they need us. You know, because I can tell you, if we're not here, I know what happens if we're not here.
What happens?
What happens when we're not here? They don't kill themselves. Social cannibalism. Social destruction by them.
I mean, you know, a black man loses his job, he go figures it out. White man loses his job, he go home and kill his family.
Absolutely. We see that happen in Gaza, and we see that happen in Israel. We're looking at it, right? We're looking at it right now. There was, for a long time, there was no let up by Israel. There was no let up. No, Netanyahu was on no let up.
Yeah.
But how can these be the people that claim mercy? Where was the mercy? The children had nothing to do with it. How do you kill babies? How do you kill mothers?
I mean,
how do you kill people, elderly people under politic will, under political thought? There's no reason. You got beef, you take your people, I take my people, we go to a yard, we fix it out, everybody kill each other, last one standing takes over the other nation. Why do all these innocent people got to be hurt?
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's terrible. But it also shows the nature of the beast. And I think that's something that melanated people have to look at. You have to look at how other races handle conflict and resolution. People think, oh, we handle conflict. We be shooting each other. What are you talking about? You know, that's not true. We didn't build guns. We didn't build poverty. Start from the infrastructure. Know who your enemy is. That man on the court is not an alcoholic. He's an alcoholic because alcohol can be given to him and administered him for $2 and a 40 ounce. That's why he's an alcoholic. I'm my size because I like food. And I like bad food. And this is the result of eating food. You know what I'm saying? That was, there was people, I didn't even have the right willpower because I was stressed out about money, work, children, whether it's people like John, Hollywood, bills, this, that, whatever, hypertension. Know your enemy.
Yeah.
Know your enemies first at the end of the day before you go out and start pointing fingers. And then I bet you all come back to the same point. And I'll just say this in closing real quick. An example to what I'm saying, think about what happened in Birmingham, Alabama with those people in Alabama, and they crossed that water and they beat them white people up.
Yeah.
There will come a time with our people. It's in us. It's in all of us. Every man, every woman. I don't care. Because when I look in your eyes and I can look into my wife's eyes and everything, I can see through it. But if I see blue through your eyes and I see green, I can't see you. I just can't see into your soul. And I say that to say is those people downloaded something that moment out, and none of all knew each other. And some swam across that river. And if everybody I'm talking about the thing that happened in Alabama last year, and them black people beating up them white folks.
A couple years ago, August 5th, yeah.
It was a glorious moment for all black people. Right on. So that was the time where, how did they all know to form? Come together. One came this way. A group came this way. One came across the wall. One grabbed the other. One came, all was duck. I thought I was looking at military training. And the women held these men down hard. It was like straight formation. It was crazy. So we got it in us.
Yeah.
We got muscle memory. We got spiritual memory. It will come out. I believe in my people. I believe in all my people. I don't say what they believe.
All you have to do.
I know at the end of the day we won. I know we are. I really do. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, all you have to do is look at, my heritage, the 1804 Haitian Revolution. People always wonder how did these Africans overthrow this country? Well, but they didn't know when they took the African slaves out of the Congolese, mostly, to Haiti.
Under King Leopold.
Under King Leopold, they were taking military generals. They were taking
the generals. They took the architects. They took all the top people in the Congo at that time. That's what Leopold was taking. He was taking most of the top people and generals and everything. And these people understand the essence. When you see the slave books, that the people that he was bringing and the titles that they were holding, this is why Haiti has such a strong blood. It's because he had the best of the architects, the generals. You can't tell them people to be slaves. You can't tell them people that a man that was commanding, a man that was telling people to do this. And you go here, and you go the one right here, and my friend, you go order. And you make so yeah, they're doing the work. But while they digging and while they doing that work, and they in the bananas nature, they're like, one day, it will happen. Step by step, one day, it will happen. And it did. Not just once. A number of times in Haiti. To the point they were like, hey man, you just pay us for the land. We're gonna give you this crazy, stupid bill that you should never eat up, and they actually paid it. It was wrong. It was completely wrong to do that to the people, but it's strong at the end of the day. We have it in us. We have it. America is just one big Percocet pill. That's all I can tell you. America is one big ecstasy pill. That's what we all chewing on. You know what I'm saying? In our comfortable houses, in our toilets, in our cars, drinking our sodas, and obesity, and gluttonous, and doing all kinds of reckless, wasting our time, going to these jobs. But one day, that will come. I don't know. Hopefully we'll see it in our lifetime. But I know for a fact we will see it in our bloodline.
It will happen.
Absolutely.
It will happen. Coming full circle, back to that, I'll close with this. I was sitting in Houghton, here in South Africa. There was a group of about 30 people. And so there were South Africans, there were African Americans, there was Jamaican, there was Canadian, Zimbabweans, and they were all talking about what we need to do. All of them. We need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do this. And I'm sitting there listening to them. I finally raised my hand and I said, you know what? First thing we need to do is admit that we're sick.
I agree. I say that all the time.
We need to admit that we are sick because we've been infested with and therefore affected by the divide and conquer mentality.
Absolutely.
Until we begin to know who we truly are and tap into that greatness, we're always looking outside of ourselves for those answers. We really need to start looking inside of ourselves. And I'm talking to you. We need to start looking inside of ourselves to get those answers, because we are indeed greatness. There is no other people group I can think of that ever existed that could have gone through what we've gone through internationally.
Absolutely.
No other people group.
We're all over the globe.
Yes.
All over the globe. And all over the globe, we are outwardly socially despised.
Mm.
There's an answer people question that we're outwardly socially despised in the general sense.
Mhm.
Okay? In public. In private, some will tell you the truth.
Mm.
We all know that. We've all been there. Some will tell us the truth. You know? And but the majority will keep the lie. And the idea is for us to keep living, to keep the narrative going, that we're not going nowhere, and we will be the ones seeing this all the way to the end. And we will get, I believe, as a people, we will be downloaded as time goes on. The information as on a need-to-know basis. On a need-to-know basis. Those people in Alabama, they on a need-to-know basis. Like they got downloaded that information, and they know better than a Tesla robot.
Okay.
They handle that. They do it on business.
I'm laughing right now because I'm seeing the one dude who came off the boat skipping
Yes, you did.
all the way over to it.
Sister was talking to him.
We're talking again. I'm telling you, man. Now, I love our people.
Yeah.
Our people are so diverse. They are so interesting. Don't fall for the rah. Don't fall for the rah. Don't fall for the rhetoric. Like your niggas ain't shit. Our niggas are love. Our niggas beautiful. Our black people gorgeous. Our black people are amazing. We come in so many flavors and so many sizes, and so many shapes, and so many. We are fascinating. We're fascinating. We're a fascinating specimen that's created in his image. Why would I ever look down on something as such?
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
We're beautiful in every way, right? So again, I go back to that flight, my first trip to South Africa. Why are all these white people on this plane?
Right?
Because they live here too.
And and they're visiting here too.
Right.
But they know we have something. There was something beautiful here that they were seeking.
Absolutely.
The other thing I want to say about that is, when the sun comes out, I don't care in northeastern United States. Sun comes out, I don't care if it's 14 degrees. You go through the mall, you're seeing white people in shorts
all day.
If it's summertime, they're the first ones laying out in the sun.
Absolutely.
When are we gonna realize how much they love us?
Oh, they do.
They love to hate us.
But it's a reason why for that. On this note, and we can always pick up on this conversation. And a lot of you might not get this in a way, but I'll say this, and I'll probably get flack.
Please say it. Say it.
The dead recognize the living. That's simple.
I love that.
When you're living, you don't spend time recognizing the dead. But if you're inept and you're enabled and you're dead, you're incapacitated, and you don't carry the melanin or the rich history of love or the rich history of unity,
culture, all of that.
That was given to you as a gift by the one that created you. You have to understand, I think if I was him, I'd be mad at you too.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
And I will always remember that. So when you think on that type of tip, the dead recognize the living. We, us, are eternal beings. We are eternal beings. We have proven it. The scoreboard shows it. We've been there since the beginning. And we've been tried. And we've been burned. And we've been lynched. How about we've been eaten and beaten? Eaten and beaten. Not enough of us you can eat. There's not enough of us you can beat.
We're still here.
That's right, brother.
So after COVID,
Y'all don't think nobody just gonna knock on the door and shut this down right now? I mean,
I agree with it. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're talking. And we talking about it. After COVID, came to they came to Africa. Why? The World Health Organization. They came here to discover what was it about Africa. Why didn't they get hit so hard by COVID? Natural medicinal medicine was the number one reason. We had the ingenuity, the creativity, the to change this world. But you know, the narrative has always been about self-hate. And we need to stop picking up that baton and running with it and start seeing one another as brother and sister. Then and only then will we begin to overcome as we should. Because this whole thing is designed to keep us down and to keep us from being the kings and queens that we naturally are. I am Gregory. Thank you, Trina, for joining us.
Thank you, natural queen, right here.
100%. Thank you, King Marcello.
Anytime.
And thank you all for joining us. We welcome you in our next time where we sit around the living room and talk about it. Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Oh, no, I'm not okay. Ooh.